Not every doubt is self-doubt, and not every self-doubt is bad doubt. Even more, the lack of growth is directly proportioned to certainty. What are you talking about? I should doubt myself even more. I'm tired of it. I want to be confident. Well, the more certain you are about things, the less you change, and the less you change, the less you grow. So, how I want confidence, I hate self-doubt. Well, the difference is, do you have the courage to go through this self-doubt and to extract the wisdom out of it and to move forward with confidence and to grow out of it, while at the same time being so sure that soon enough you'll doubt yourself again? That's hard. Well, it is, as long as we have some bad information or some misconceptions. And today we're going to go through 3 misconceptions about confidence and self-doubt so that you can change a little bit this relationship you have with the self-doubt. Because the more you hate it, the more you're focused on it, and the more you start hating yourself, and then you doubt, and then you don't do anything, and then everything goes to not in the expected direction. So let's solve that. Now, before we go into those 3 misconceptions, you'd say, who are you? How come do you know? Well, I grew up in a family where encouragement was not on the list. Discipline was on the list, high values on the list, but encouragement, not really. So happened so that I grew up, hating a lot about myself. And there were so many things hating about myself, including, for example, speaking a lot, talking a lot. I hate about it. And the more I've been told that I should be quiet, and the more I heard these quotes which were saying, the wisest person is the quietest one, the more I was confused and like, oh my God, I'm talking a lot and I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. And that led to long years of constantly looking up at everyone, constantly seeing greatness in others, but not in myself. I'm not good at anything. And that led to, as many of us also go through, we start to find things, we start to go on those paths where we want to draw attention to us so that we somehow can gain some confidence. But when it happens, you realize that that didn't really help. For me, it was bodybuilding. So being so low self-esteem and lack of confidence and not being sure if I do have something good about me, I thought that if I can draw attention towards me, then I'll feel so confident. Well, to a certain degree, physically, yes, that gives you a little bit of confidence, but still, when you win, you say nothing really changed. It helped a little bit, but that's not the key. So let's go through these 3 misconceptions which I've been through and I find out that so many people are going through. Let's dissect them and to see beyond them so that you can start to be at peace with who you are and to have the courage to go through this self-doubt rather than hating it. So whether you're building your business, growing your business, at every stage when there is something new, we doubt ourselves. But if we don't go through it and we look at it as a wall, we don't get through it, then we get there stuck, and we might also start believing that we are not worthy, we don't deserve, no, we can't do it, everything is hard, and oh my gosh, we'll never get through. Well, so the number 1 misconception. So let me welcome you to Outgrow Thyself, Build Thy Kingdom, Master Wisdom and Leadership for Business and Life. My mission is to honor God and help people. So I'm committed to fulfilling the purpose God has set for me. My name is Alexandr, and let's have this conversation about confidence and self-doubt. I can assure you that once you go through these misconceptions, a lot is going to be revealed. Maybe not exactly what I meant, but something else might help you or trigger or open that chord, that chamber in your heart, and you can start to see things differently. That's amazing. So the number one misconception is you prefer being seen more than being known. Let me ask you this. How many times you realize that actually when you doubt yourself or you doubt your abilities, your skills, is actually you don't hate so much the feeling of it as much as the idea that others are going to see you incompetent or maybe not good, not great, so on and so forth. That idea is much more scary than the feeling itself. But the truth is that if a millionaire would look at you trying to become an entrepreneur, or building, or growing, great people will never look down on you. A bodybuilder will never look down onto somebody which is trying to get in shape and stay fit. Only the people who are stuck into that self-doubt, and you might know some people around you like that, they might think less of yourself. And I know the ideal is to not have their idea in your head at all, to not have it in the arena. But let's look a little bit closer. That idea is scary, not the feeling itself. Now, how can we move from that focus? How can we get down that idea from not having it into the arena rather than fighting it? Because the more you fight it, the more people you will find around you which you think they will think in a way or another about you, and that is making you having this bad relationship with the confidence and the self-doubt. And let me share you one thing with you, and let's just test it out. You see, my native language is not English, so I never took a class of English. I learned it by myself. And as you can see, I do have an accent, and my vocabulary is not one of the greatest. It's not a rich vocabulary. And I do always have that feeling in the back of my head that like, hey, you studied so well in school, and you were smart and stuff, and you held the master, and you're about to start your PhD, and like, but yeah, you see that if you could speak in your native language, in Russian or Romanian, then I could impress you a little bit more. But in English, the devil tells me that somebody might be thinking less of myself. I just feel now like my body's a little bit uncomfortable. Why? Because this is always going to be that weakest link in the chain. That's going to be my voice, which is always will try to convince me of something else. But do you think less of myself because I do have an accent and my vocabulary is not great or rich? Probably never even thought about it. Or maybe you did, I don't know. What I want to say is that yes, we will have that doubt, but it mostly comes from what we think that others might be thinking of ourselves. What do you think about it? Is it something that you might observed in your psyche? So let me ask you this: does knowing the true nature of a friend make you think more or less of them? Just because you know who they are, does that make you think less of them? No, it makes you think more of themselves. Why? Because you know their true nature, who they are. Why isn't that then true for ourselves? What do we think? Why do we think that if people would know what we stand for, who we are, they will think less of ourselves? So if you're an entrepreneur and you try now to build your business and you have expectations, and maybe there are people who have expectations of you or you think they have expectations of you, that builds so much pressure, and then you start to doubt yourself. So if you could eliminate that from the arena, you could start to see that actually it's not such a big problem even if you doubt yourself a little bit. So the shift number one is this: a wounded ego comes from no performance, no value. If I don't perform, no, I'm not valuable. A healthy ego is no result, no value. So ego says, I gotta win, I gotta do, that's great. An integrated ego is no impact, no value. So an integrated ego is like, I can do something, We'll get to a spiritual aspect, the third shift, but this is just, let's focus a little bit on your biological aspect. The second is mental, the third is spiritual. So an integrated ego is no impact, no value. Hey, if nobody benefits me or my business or my customer or my people or my friends, probably that's not valuable, all right? Healthy looks only for the results, and the wounded looks for, hey, no performance, no value. So, oh my God, if I couldn't perform, then I value nothing. That's the first shift I invite you to do, to get out of that idea of no performance. If I can't look good, means I don't have enough value or I have nothing to bring to the table, or so on and so forth. All right, so let's switch from this outward projection and to embrace the idea that it's better to be known rather than being just seen. Just trying to project their idea of how you want to look is scary, and that's why you start doubting yourself. Because if you could embrace this idea of let people to know for who you are, that's actually will already get you 33% out of this fight with self-doubt and the confidence. I've been, and I know exactly how it is, and that's always a voice, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Oh, you want to achieve and do so much. I know that, right? Write in the comments below how is it? Is this something helpful for you? Maybe you have a suggestion or maybe a question. The misconception number 2, you plus something else equals confidence. Something like, oh, if I and my success and my money and something else, and the way I look and the way I talk and the way of this and that and many people and friends and blah, 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 then I would be more confident. But as long as I don't have that, my confidence is low. So we are looking outward for something that would give us the permission to feel more confident. Something like skills are superior to the gifts. Actually, that comes from the shift. So what's the shift? The shift is, rationally, we'll think data plus more data equals better data. Irrational is data plus creativity equals greatness. So if we look rationally at things, we say this information plus that information equals better information. But we are not machines. We are human beings. We have a soul, we have gifts. And you see that when we look on the outside, oh, that skill is paid more. I probably should work more on this because that will assure me a better future, or this or this or that. We're so focused on the skills which we have to acquire along the way. But we ignore the gifts which God has given for free. And you see that the gifts are given, but we only look onto the outside and we think, oh, if I could have those skills, only then I could feel more confident. And we ignore the gifts. And we're so focused on the skills. And we think that only if I did have that skill, that would make me or allow me to feel more confident. Even from the rational perspective towards confidence, if you think about it, it's also much more convenient to start with your gifts, and your passion is somewhere there around. Because what is given to you is so unique, and it's already 50%, the problem is solved because that's given to you. You already have this inclination. But very often we ignore that and we want to focus more into what do others do? What do others have? And that's not easy. I know that's not easy. You might say, yeah, I don't want to compare myself to others. And you also know that comparing ourselves to others leads to only more pain, and it's a tip of joy. Good, but how do you do that? It would be great to focus more on myself. Well, focusing on yourself is the daughter decision of the mother decision. What's the mother decision? Is to stop looking at others. It's hard to focus on yourself as long as you are focused on others. So the first one is to just stop looking at others. Yeah, but how? Well, don't look. I know it's hard, but you're a grown man. You're a strong man. I know that. And it's not easy, but there comes the moment where we just have to stop looking at others to add creativity, faith in our rationale, in our rational thinking, blend these two, take this leap of faith, embrace the gifts God has given us, and to develop the skills around those gifts. Oh my gosh, this is such a shortcut towards confidence. Let me be honest with you, I've been so focused on trying to learn the skills of sales and marketing and business. I do have a whole degree in business and management. And I was for so many years focused so much on the business aspect. And I do like entrepreneurship and I'm a business consultant, but from the leadership perspective, from the mindset perspective. But for many years, I really tried to look as other business consultants, which I admired and learned from. But when we embrace our gifts, things go so naturally, so much better. Of course, that requires effort to build a skill set around those gifts, but that's such a much easier path. And mathematically speaking, that's also a much more convenient path, but it's also spiritually aligned. So if you struggle with confidence, ask yourself, what are the gifts I'm ignoring? What I'm good at? What I'm so passionate about, but I'm ignoring so much. And I really think that only the skills, if I learn that skill and that skill, only that is going to reassure me a better life or more confidence. What do you think? Misconception number 3 is the stoic model of leadership. What's the stoic model of leadership? It's stoic plus rational equals confidence. Oof. If I could just control my emotions and just be an emotionless person, and let's not be deceived. I have I really hope, a great video about emotional intelligence, and I really do believe that every strong man should learn how to control his emotions. 100%, no doubt about it. That's one of his greatest strengths. But the goal is not to become emotionless completely. That's not the purpose, to destroy the purpose of the emotions, to control them, to direct them 100%. The link is in the description below. You want to watch that video about emotional intelligence, a full masterclass. I really hope and believe that could help you if you do struggle with emotions. And yeah, sometimes doubts, the feeling of doubt might be a feeling or an emotion. So that's the misconception that stoicism plus rational, that's going to give me confidence. Well, that's not the God's model of leadership, which is servant plus leader. You receive for free, you give for free. Give more and you'll be given more. What is that? That is, it's not that, if I could be more confident, then I would be a greater leader. Or if I had just these great leadership skills, I would have more confidence to lead my business. And maybe you're not a great leader in terms of leading other people, but you building your business, growing your business, offering a service, a product for the market requires great leadership skills. You see, that leaders are not something that, they're better than others or that they are a different breed of... No. Leadership is practicing leadership. And you practice as a servant, you serve at the same time. It's just that in some areas, you take the responsibility, the courage also to lead by example and to encourage others, helping them to see more, to do more, to dream more, to become more. It's not that you gotta have a different DNA and others are better, or you might have it, you might not. You're pleasing God, you're serving the people around you, and you practice leadership in those areas where your expertise is needed, and you stand up and you say, do you know what? I'm gonna try to take this responsibility to lead. If you really think for yourself, I'm a great leader, I want to lead, and I do have these skills and gifts, probably gotta think twice. Great leaders usually they understand and comprehend fully the responsibility that lays on their shoulders to lead others, because that's a great responsibility. And you do that with humility, with courage, asking for help, and asking for guidance for those who have been already on that path. That is a leadership. So focus on the God's model of leadership. Keep serving. Keep sharing greatness. Keep bringing joy. Keep being great. Keep working. And understand that it's not that when you're on top of others, you will have that confidence. No, it will come from serving and really bringing impact in people's lives and your business. Remember the wounded ego and the healthy ego and the integrated ego. The integrated ego looks for the impact. Oh, is this changing? Is this bringing value? Is this having an impact in my life or business? Okay, that's valuable. Okay, good. Let's do it. All right, good. If you are building your business, growing your business, and you want to go through more specific aspects of what we've been through, and you really got some value from this video, and you want to go into some specific areas which you struggle, where it's painful for you, the link is in the description below. There is a free 5 days challenge, a mission challenge we can go through, and I can serve you by helping and realigning what you do with your mission in life and in business, so that the vision can become clearer, and also at the same time to discover the purpose through God has for you through the gifts He has given to you. All right, so you can scan the QR code. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. Keep winning, keep working, subscribe to this channel, support my mission. I'll be so thankful. That's humbling for me, and I'll keep doing my best, what I do. And I wish you all the best for you. Stay blessed by the best, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.